Hey, what's up, Mortgage Coach community? Dave Savage here, and I'm sitting down with Scott. And Scott, is it Majus? How do you pronounce your last name?
Mangus.
Mangus. Cool. Well, it's nice to meet you, my friend, and I'm excited to do this interview. I can't. I think it was an email between you and Brian on our team. So, guys, we have Brian Maring, success manager here at Mortgage Coach, on the call, and Brian had forwarded me an email that Scott had sent talking about how Mortgage Coach had, I think the words you used in the email were like, saved your career. Is that fair to say?
That's fair to say, yes. Yeah, it was kind of a blessing. I was looking for a replacement of the standard Excel spreadsheet mortgage cost analysis that we've all used for many years, and I'm sure most of us dread, especially if you're still using them. But went on a Google search because I knew there had to be something better out there. Fortunately, I did it in 2019 ahead of the refinance boom. But it helped me simplify my operation, which on my team, I am kind of the front person that deals with helping clients structure their loans. And I would call myself the mortgage coach on my team. That's my passion in this industry. So stumbling upon your all software was honestly the greatest godsend I've received in this industry.
Well, thank you for saying that, and it's an honor that we've been able to help you.
Thank you.
And I think that's something that gets underestimated by a lot of folks, is that Mortgage Coach, yeah, it's a sales advantage. Yes, it saves time, but it actually makes the job of a loan officer more rewarding and funner. Would you say that's been the case for you?
100%. And the interactive piece was such great timing, especially with COVID. Here in St. Louis, a lot of business is in person. So I would do a lot of face-to-face meetings, and I'd print out the TCAs and put them in a nice binder and sit down with the client face-to-face. So when COVID came about, having that interactive piece, and I wouldn't even tell the client that I could kind of interact with them at first, and I would just highlight a couple things and wait to hear their reaction, which was always hysterical. And honestly, I can say with conviction, 9 out of 10 people have told me on that call that this is the greatest presentation they've ever received when purchasing or refinancing a home. It's so user-friendly. And that's one thing that we take for granted because we're in this industry every single day. We understand it, but when somebody's purchasing a home, more times than not, they do it 5, 7, 10 years, and the industry changes. So when you can present something so user-friendly, easy to understand, with cool graphs, it just makes my job easier and much more rewarding than doing those dreaded Excel spreadsheets.
I love it. Well, your story is an inspiration, and having your customer say, oh my goodness, 9 out of 10 times is obviously an advantage. Well, let's get into the how you do it, because I always find it fascinating when I do these interviews. I know that every loan officer is different, every family is different, every market's different. So I never get the same answers. But so let's try to get some scripts for anyone listening to this. When you present a mortgage coach to a family, what do you call it? Do you call it a total cost analysis, or do you have some personalized, unique name that you use to frame it?
So I actually use mortgage coach analysis.
I like that.
Just, I don't know why, but that's kind of what I've used, and created an email template. Kind of my process is, we have clients fill out applications, and then I tell them, and either on the phone or in an email, that once the application is submitted, we'll schedule a call to kind of go through your options. And then at that point, I don't even tell them I'm going to present this. I just have them on the phone, say, hey, I just shot you an email. In that email, it has a link I'd like for you to click on, and we can kind of go through your options. And at that point, we both have the analysis up, and they have no idea that I can interact with them during the analysis, and I start highlighting some things. And then from there, it's there's no competition. And it's amazing how much business I've gotten on that first phone call, where people literally will say to me, this is great, Scott. I don't even need to shop. This is exactly what I was looking for, the transparency. It's very easy to understand. And to me, I feel like I have the deal at that point, unless somebody else presents a mortgage coach analysis to them.
Well, let's break it down, guys. So make note. He's calling it a mortgage coach analysis. He is scheduling a call with the client. They don't even know exactly what's happening. They just, when he starts talking, there's an email. What percentage of those calls are on Zoom versus just phone call and mortgage coach?
So honestly, most of mine are just on a phone call.
Okay, so most of it are phone call, and now you're driving the experience. Let's show what that looks like. If you don't mind sharing your screen and pulling up a strategy that is not uncommon for you. So think of a mortgage coach strategy that has a story around it, and it's something that you think our community would want to know about. And let's walk them through it like they're a consumer, you know. All right. By the way, great job on the branding, the picture. I mean, really clean.
Thank you.
Best practice.
Yeah, so this is a actual deal. Hopefully there's not any information on here that.
Just keep it at the top right there. Yeah, keep it like that.
And unfortunately, on this scenario, the purchase price at 310, the client knew there was a good chance that it wouldn't appraise for the contract sales price. And our appraiser is a phenomenal appraiser because he appraised it for $3,500 less than the sales price. So he is very accurate in his evaluations.
Almost to the penny, huh?
But it was really cool because I was able to, and again, I just think if I had to do this in Excel spreadsheet, the time it would take me to put that together for them to easily understand it would be an hour minimum. This took me maybe 5 minutes to put together. And so I wanted to highlight up at the top what I'm trying to explain. And this would be, if it did appraise for the 310, what his payment would look like and the cash to close. But then I wanted to show them, it appraised at 306,500. So the payment is actually going to go down a little bit, but your cash to close is going to increase a little bit. And that's because the loan amount's decreasing for him. So with the MI, I just gave him two options. If he wanted to pay it monthly, what that would look like from a payment standpoint, or if he wanted to pay it, monthly, what that would look like, or if he wanted to build it into his interest rate and kind of buy out of the MI in a single premium situation.
Love it. So making things that could be a little bit complex, making it simple. And in today's low inventory market, where appraisal gaps are not uncommon, and the concern of appraisal concept is almost in every market, the concern is there. Some markets are having them happen more than often than others, but using Mortgage Coach to show that Love your integration of experience.com. So congrats on your 276 reviews at a 4.95 or higher. So you are crushing it, obviously. How do you like that integration, by the way?
With the experience or social survey,
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, most of all of our clients, or especially myself, if it's a referral, you kind of get that warm, Scott's great, you need to call them. But this is validity from kind of an unbiased source, because obviously the realtor or the financial advisor that is upfront giving me that referral and telling their clients to call, they may think, oh, there's a relationship there, but then they can quickly see that 275 people have also said great things about myself, and we don't have to really sell that part of it.
Love it. Love it. Well, I'm going to share something on my screen real quick. And just remind folks, a modern mortgage experience is whatever the family wants. And obviously in COVID times, quite often that is the families self-educating on their own. When you're meeting with people, you can use a mobile app. But hey, if a family wants it in writing, printing it out and giving them it in writing, that's modern. Whatever you think is tailored to how that family wants to consume the content, do it. And in today's market, it's a telephone and it's a link. And also just remember, everybody, that what we're all about at Mortgage Coach is helping you turn education into a sales advantage. And so, I mean, I think just about every loan officer in America, would say, oh, I deliver an educational mortgage experience. But you're not doing it at the level at the best if you're not using Mortgage Coach. And so, Scott, before we wrap up, any closing thoughts you have or any recommendations for anyone on the Mortgage Coach community?
I mean, I hate to say so many great things about it because I'm just creating competition for myself. But if you're a loan officer and you're not using the software, I don't know what you're doing. If you have a better software out there, I challenge you to put it up against Mortgage Coach. But if you're still using Excel spreadsheets, you're seriously at a disadvantage to anyone that has Mortgage Coach.
Well, and I love that your company is integrated it with so much of your technology. I think you've got integrated with your pricing engine, your CRM, experience.com, Simple Nexus. Do you find that those integrations save you time?
Absolutely. Not only do they save me time, they save me deals. I've been in the business. This is my 17th year. Fortunate to have a very large pipeline with a very large database. I personally cannot keep up with every single person. So having these integrations to where they touch my clients with different strategies or financial numbers, and the amount of people that reach out to me from those and thank me or say, that was such a cool presentation. I'd like to look into refinancing when I didn't have to do anything is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, no doubt about it, guys. And that Simple Nexus integration is cool because not only is the family filling out your TCA, but now in the app that they use to fill out the app or give you information, there is a link to the Mortgage Coach TCA. So it's pretty slick. Hey, Brian Merring, anything we missed or anything you want to ask before we wrap it up?
Yeah, just real quick, Scott. I noticed your presentation. You provided the borrower with multiple options. I mean, how do those options? What's your standard process as far as, because there's a lot of people that are maybe new to Mortgage Coach. What is a typical TCA as far as number of options have for the borrower to consider?
Oh, that's a great question because if I have a client that wants to know their options, I'll say to them, let's have you fill out the application. And then what I'll do is I'll send you an analysis. It's called the Mortgage Coach Analysis. It's a software that I use that helps me present up to 4 options for you compared, whether it's 5% down, 10% down, or dealing with the mortgage insurance piece. And from that point, that I can tell that they have a lot of questions, but they just pause, and I'll say to them, just know when I send over this analysis, we'll jump on the phone together, go through it in great detail. I'd love for your partner, your wife, who you're purchasing the property, to be a part of that as well. So let's schedule a time where the 3 of us can go through it in detail. And again, that process saves me so much time through the whole transaction. If I compared how many times, and it's almost, I told my business partner this the other day, it's almost an adjustment for me, because I would have to talk to the client maybe 10, 15 times through the transaction, where now it's like 2 to 3. So I feel like I don't know them as well, because I don't have to talk to them as much. But also I know that it's because of the efficiency and the effectiveness of the software. It's not my neglect to the client. It's we're able to give them something that they can understand better, or clearly identify what product, opposed to sending them multiple emails or have multiple communication.
Gotcha. So I guess you could say it's increased your personal production speed limit. You're now able to go 85 rather than 65.
Well, I think there's an important thing to delineate there, guys. Think back when you were in school. Did you like the teacher that could teach you a whole class in like 5 to 15 minutes? Or did you like the teacher that took up the whole hour and you just droned on? So, those, when you're dealing with a consumer, it's about the quality of the communication, not the quantity. And so that it's saving you time, and that's also saving the client time. So everybody's winning. And I think that's cool the way you delineated that. Brian, anything else or anything you want to add?
No, I just want to make sure that he shared that, because obviously providing the client with options, giving them opportunity, more dialogue with them, more meaningful within a condensed time frame.
Love it. So, hey, Scott, dude, you're a great role model and leader in the mortgage coach community. Thank you for this call, and then also for the company you work for. You're a great leader and ambassador, mortgage coach there. So thank you for that, brother.
Thank you guys so much for creating this awesome software. I can't thank you enough.
Hey, one last question. Have you watched any of the new videos we have a new playlist called the Agent Advantage playlist? Have you seen any of those videos in there?
So is the appraisal gap one?
Yep, Amber. Well, it's in here quite a few times.
Okay.
But here, just to show it to you, and as a reminder to also anyone watching this, at the very top now, we have this Mortgage Coach Agent Advantage playlist. And this was something that we created for the Modern Real Estate event. And each one of these, so it sounds like you've watched this appraisal gap with Amber Kavark.
Yeah, they're phenomenal. I mean,
and did you watch the one with Keith or any of the others?
So I did not watch the one with Keith, but I watched How to Solve an Appraisal Gap after I watched, yes, that one as well.
Well, I would push everybody in the mortgage coach community. These are must watch videos. Now, and for a couple of reasons, because one, realtors need our help more than ever. And every one of these videos was designed as a presentation to realtors. So these were aired to realtors. So it's really a playbook. Like, how do you tell a realtor how you're more valuable as a mortgage coach? And it not only had an appraisal gap multiple times, but it had a move up analysis. It had a cost of waiting analysis. So there were about 3 or 4 different mortgage coach moves that you could make. And you had 6 different loan officers presenting to agents. So Scott, I recommend you check them out all, and anyone watching this video, huge resource.
I will. And to add, so something else I do, because at least my agents, they want to know their clients taken care of, but they don't really care for the specifics of certain things. So every time I send a mortgage coach analysis to my client, after I send it to them, I'll send a different email template to the agent saying, just so you're aware, I've been in contact with Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I have sent them this mortgage coach analysis that kind of lays out what, their options are. Contact me with any comments or questions. Again, 9 out of 10 times the agents reply with exclamation points. Wow, I've never seen anything like this. So it may just be the St. Louis market that not a lot of agents have seen this yet, which is a great thing for me, but it is just testament to the product you guys have put together. It really is slick.
Well, love it. Well, it's the name of the company is actually Wow Tools. When I founded Mortgage Coach 20 years ago, that was the goal, was to be able to give a presentation in 3 to 5 minutes to a consumer, and they'd either say wow out loud or they'd say it to themselves. So it's a wow tool, guys. And if you want to have 9 out of 10 real estate agents say wow, make sure you start giving them a mortgage coach. Powered by Wow Tools, Inc.
Well done.
All right. Well, Scott, thank you very much, brother. You gave tons of value. You're a cool dude. And look forward to seeing you in St. Louis. Guys, this is a wrap. Give it a like, share it with your mortgage friends. And thanks for tuning in.